What's up, everybody? It's Realistic with Realistic Productions, and I'm going to be doing a review of a new loop pack that's coming out by SoundOracle. It's called Spacewalk, and these are a bunch of melody loops and chord progressions that are really awesome. They're really spacious and ambient and bold, unique, and I think he did a really good job on these. He teamed up with Billboard Hitmakers. These guys have definitely been a source of inspiration for me. If you haven't checked them out, you can find them at billboardhitmakers.com, but they've worked with Wale, Roscoe Dash, Tiana Taylor. They've been on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta a few times as well, and Oracle and them teamed up to make these loops, and they're really super awesome. And you already know anything coming from SoundOracle.net is going to have some super high quality, and the effects are going to be on there, and they're going to be really unique. And what's cool about this is there's two versions of each loop. There is the original version, and then there's a version with effects on there, which I think is really awesome. If you're making a song and you want to have it build, you could use both versions, to where you're starting out with the original, and then as the chorus starts coming in, you throw in that affected version in there as well. So between the original and the effects version, there's 30 altogether. And there's also an option, just like the Articulate pack, for you to buy the version with the stems, which I think is super, super dope, because this allows you to make hundreds and hundreds of beats when you have the stem, because you could grab this bass line from this, and then you could grab this pad and this synth from there, which I think is super cool. And these loops right here, they have basses, they have synths, they have super cool soundscape backgrounds in the background. I think it's really awesome, so I wanted to go ahead and go over a couple of different ones, so let's go ahead and check those out.
All right, so I got Ableton open up here, but these loops will work in any DAW, Fruity Loops, Ableton, Logic, Reason, Pro Tools. It's going to work in there. These are WAV files. They're 44K, and it's going to work in any DAW. And I'm going to be going over the Spacewalk loop pack. Now, I was going over this a couple times, just listening through, playing around with them, and I got to say, these are really high quality. They did a really good job with the mixing. They're really clean, really crisp. The bottom end, as far as the bass and the low frequencies, are powerful. They're punchy. I'm really impressed with this. A lot of detail went into this too. They're very layered. They build a lot, which I think is really cool. I'll show you as far as what we got for the folder contents. You can see over here we got 854 megabytes. That's almost a gig worth of stuff. And you can see in here that we got our dry and we got wet, which is really cool, that you can go back and forth between ones that have effects on it and ones that are dry. And every single one of them are going to have the key and the tempo in there, and that's so clutch when it comes to having loops. To be able to know what key it's in, and then you don't have to figure it out for yourself later. It's a time saver. Same with the tempo. You don't have to tap it out. I mean, as producers, we all know how to tap out the tempo, but man, does it save time when you don't have to do that, and you can just go in and drop it right in there. So there's two versions. There's the stem version, and then there's just the version where it's just the loops by itself. So there's a total of 30 loops. With the 2-track version, you're going to get a total of 30 files, right? So you're going to get 15 dry and 15 wet. And then as far as the stems, there's a total of 160 files, because you'll be getting 80 dry and 80 wet with that. All right, so let's go over to Ableton and give these a couple listen. There's a couple of them I really wanted to show off, a couple of my favorites in here. Let's start with the dry folder, this Absolute Zero one. I thought this was really cool. I wanted to show a little bit of how it builds, and I wanted to show a little bit off of a few of the stems in there. Man, when that bass drops and that lead synth comes in, it really pulls at you too. Something that could be really awesome for building. I like that too, that it builds, because there's a lot of loop packs where, you know, you would just get this intro and that's it. And that's still cool because it gives you a lot of opportunity to build. But the fact that it's got this drop in here where it has layers and it builds as the loop goes on, I think it gives a lot of potential, a lot of opportunities for you to have songs that have a lot of movement and stuff. There's so much detail on this. And I wanted to show a couple of the stems too, because I thought this was really cool. Check out this bass. It's really high quality. It's thick. It's got a lot of nice sub frequencies in it too. It's smooth too. Yeah, that definitely got me excited when I heard that. And one of my favorite parts of this loop in particular was this little background noise, which I thought was just so perfect for it. I'll play that for you. See, that's dope right there because you could use that for so many different things. Like, you don't even have to focus on the key of the song at that point. It just builds this little ambience in the background and gives it a really cool vibe to it. All right, so let's move on to some different loops that I wanted to show off. This casual rain one I thought was super dope. Same kind of concept where there's something really cool in the background that you could use on just about any type of beat. I love the rain in the background. I think that's super dope. And when I heard it, when it everything kind of dropped in right here, I so bad wanted Drake to just jump on this beat. So I think that's really cool because a lot of people like that Drake type vibe, and this definitely kind of gets you in that zone. Let me show off this rain too. I thought that was super cool. Again, you can use that on so many things. You could use that for an intro. You could put that on beats that you've already made in the background and be a really cool kind of outro kind of vibe to it as well. All right, let's continue. Just show off a couple here. I'm going to start moving a little faster in this dry folder. That's super cool too. I love how the rise starts coming in there too towards the end. It really got me excited with those slaps that was going on too. All right, here's another one of my favorite ones right here. Definitely was digging this one. This string buildup is what makes this so dope. And as if you listen to the whole loop when you get it, it really just continues to build and kind of add that nice dramatic feel. And it really wants to go somewhere. I wanted to show off this background ambience again. Man, that's so cool too, because again, you could just keep using these for so many different things too. All right, so now let's dive into the wet version here. Check that out. I'm gonna show a couple too that we've already been through because I think it'd be kind of cool to hear the difference between them. But here's this one. I thought SoundOracle did a really good job here, adding some sweet effects to it, some nice tape stops and stuff, some stutters. I love too the effects that's going on with the background and stuff. Like both of those together and by themselves are super dope and can just be used in so many different applications and different types of things. All right, let's move on to some other ones here. The thing that caught me the most about this loop right here was that bass though. Like it's so gritty, it's so aggressive, it's just gnarly. Let's check that out. I just want to show that part of it real quick. That is super, super fire. Two more real quick I wanted to show off here. Super dope bass. Love the effects going on as far as the sweeps and the little kind of like either phasey sounds or kind of flanger type sounds in the background. Really cool too for like some background stuff. And the last one that I wanted to show off in here was this Cosmic Exchange one. Yeah, I love the background stuff in there too when it starts to really drop in and everything. So yeah, you can hear that these are really high quality. They got some really dope sounds to them. The detail was really well thought out. I definitely love how the bass feels in here. I love how catchy the stuff is too. Like that's another thing, like yes, the quality is really good, but the quality doesn't mean anything if it's not catchy and if it's not usable in today's music. And they sound modern and they sound like they could be used for big pop artists and everything. So I definitely think this is a pack that's worth checking out. Spacewalk, it's going to work in any DAW, and check it out. Let us know in the reviews what you think of this one.